Do anybody remember? What was
Yes.
the tagline?
Are we even bothering this time?
Are we recording this right now? No, it's still on the interweb.
Hey guys, it's the build. What? That's my own YouTube starting. That's
Hey guys, Ben here with Myers Woodshop.
Yeah. Hi guys, we don't know what we're doing. Welcome to a podcast for creators who don't know what they're doing.
We have no brand identity.
okay. Let me start over.
All right, try it
Okay.
again.
Welcome to the Build Guild podcast, a podcast, an
professional-
professional podcast for makers. And you have missed us so much because we've been gone for like 2 months, I think.
It's been a while.
It's at least 2 months, I think, since our last episode.
Yeah.
And lots has changed, at least for one of us.
Lots.
So
Yeah.
first thing, we need to do a little house cleaning or catch up.
I don't want to do that.
Well, it's easy because all we're doing is saying congrats to rdubs86 on Instagram,
Okay, we
who
can do that.
won our last episode 19 giveaway for the micro jig
All right.
prize pack.
Okay.
So congrats to you, rdubs. Let me click on him.
Thanks for playing,
Oh.
Dubs.
Doesn't say his name, but he does have a Batman
Okay,
Symbol
I'll give it to him.
on there.
Congratulations,
Seems
Batman.
sensible enough.
Yes. So congratulations,
You don't know
and
if
thanks
it's
for
real.
everyone who played or entered into the giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go.
All right.
Cool.
So let's catch up. I think Brian and I are going to catch up on a little bit of what we've done since we've, like a little bit of projects of what we've done since we last had our recording.
Okay.
And then we'll catch up with Coty because he has kind of a life change.
Yeah.
It's a bigger life
Yeah.
change. And I think we're going to focus on this episode after Brian and I kind of catch up on what we did. Focus on a little bit of what, how changing of life is okay. Direction.
Yeah. Midlife crisis.
So sure. We'll call a
Wait,
third life
how-
crisis. Oops, sorry.
How old are you?
I'm hitting midlife. I mean, the middle of your life can be anywhere. We don't
well,
really
okay,
know.
that's a
Wow.
good point. We
Could
never
be
know
good.
for sure.
We're going to
What
assume
is
it's
the middle of life?
we're going to assume it's third life. How
I'm
about
so
that?
zen right now.
My gosh.
So Brian, since we last had Brian's
My microphone has attacked my headphones.
We forgot how to do this.
Yeah, I'm
If you want to see
clueless.
that happening,
I'm
you
having to
can,
learn
you can
all
watch
of
us
this.
on YouTube as well. We do
Please
have
do.
a YouTube channel where we record every
Jeez.
episode. So not that it's wonderful watching our faces, but you can do that if that's your thing.
Yeah.
But Brian, what have you created in the last 2 months?
Okay.
I have to go back in my
That's
feed
2
and
months.
remember
Yeah,
what
seriously.
I have done.
Well, let me start backward from where I am now, I guess. I've been laser cutting Batman logos and symbols.
The overlay, did you catch that overlay of Batman? The cityscape
Yes.
is the most recent. It's beautiful.
That's right. I
Wonderful.
posted that on my Instagram, and it was the top performing post ever that I've ever posted on Instagram in like 3 years. So a lot of appeal there. I really enjoyed riding that wave.
You came up with that from scratch too, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I took there's a Batman Begins logo, or not logo, just the bat symbol, and I mean, I wrestled with it. I was just tinkering with it at first, and I couldn't really make it work. But I put a cityscape. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, it's 3 layers of laser cut hardboard that put, like a bas relief with the cityscape of Gotham and Batman in the middle, contained inside that logo. And so it's painted right now. It's glued up and got that nice bronze on it.
Oh yes,
and I'm
it's
gonna-
over there, Cody.
Yeah,
I know, I saw it.
Oh, you
I'll-
saw it.
I'm gonna dirty
cool.
it up, put some weathering on it, like I did the last one. This is the second one I've made. The other example was, I think, from the Arkham Asylum games. So I'm having a lot of fun with the Batman symbols and kind of customizing them and showing off the designs that I've done. And the Mandalorian build is on hold. I made a pretty massive effort at the end of September, beginning of October, to try to get that ready for Halloween.
And you're talking about the helmet.
I was
Oh, you
trying to
did
get
go-
the whole thing. I
Yeah,
was
the
trying to
full
get the
thing.
whole suit ready
Yeah.
to wear for Halloween. And then I had, like, life just slammed several things in front of me at once, and I have not. Like, it came to a standstill right now. So,
Where is the state of at least the helmet on that one?
Helmet's 93.8% done.
Very exact.
I need
Excellent.
to put the visor in it and the padding to make it wearable. And then
To be fair, you did a lot more than just like the chrome. Like you had the
I
little-
did it cheapy, just
No.
straight up the Mando, chrome it out.
and I mean
that's
that
the
one
end.
is fine, and it's
It exists.
If it's one color and one texture, then
Yeah.
it's gonna take less time. To be fair to Ben, and for mine, I'm like
an artist.
I've got 8
Oh,
different
yeah.
colors
Yeah.
on it. I
can
sanded
never
it
really be
8
done.
Perfection for
times
him,
with
yeah.
5 different sandpaper grits, and I haven't weathered it still. I still got to do that. So I'm sorry, 89.6%.
But this is not your
finished.
first helmet or suit you've ever made either.
No, I
Yeah.
have done this before.
Right. Mine, that was
And
the
I
first one I ever made. And
came
I was
back
like,
for
just
more.
see if I can make it work.
Torture and punishment.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, I'm also making T-shirts. I opened a Teespring shop. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Drawing my toad sprites.
And people can get those at teespring.com
I have no idea.
/
Like, I went to Google and I
World's
tried to
worst
Google it.
salesman.
No, I don't even care. I told you before. Like, if I was doing what you're doing now, sorry, spoiler alert, I would not do well
Do you have
because
the-
I don't care if people buy things.
Do you
I
have
just
the
buy
link?
it or don't.
He doesn't have-
No, I can't. Like, I'm trying to post it on
we
my
will
Instagram
find-
right now.
we will find
No, okay,
the
look,
link and
look.
put it in the show notes.
Fiery Squirrel Art, and I'm trying to put it right now in the post on my Instagram. I just spit all over the place. I'm getting so excited.
We're just strawberries.
And I just copied and pasted. It's like it's both Teespring and Redbubble, which is the other print shop that I
Yes.
use online. They're terrible to
Teespring's
find.
pretty good.
No,
Redbubble is terrible.
I think at this point I agree with you. Like having an objective comparison between the two. Like I've ordered the products, I've tested them. It looks like Teespring has a superior.
The
product
T-shirt is
as far as the shirts
so
go.
nice, so
but,
soft.
But still, both of these sites do users no service at all when we are trying to find a specific shop. Even if I have one and I am trying to find the one I created, it is a terrible search mechanic. There is no search mechanic. So
Yeah.
I use Google. I straight went to google.com and I found my Teespring store faster than going to Teespring and trying to search for it there. So Teespring, you suck with your searching and your stupid, not helpful searching.
I'll go to Google
so
and
does
in 1
Redbubble.
minute I'll find that link and
You
put it in
shut
the
up.
description.
No. Okay,
Don't worry
fine.
about it.
It's because you're the wizard of the internet. So
wizard.
Yes.
You wizard.
hey, wizard. Okay, and that's
Yeah,
what that's
wizard,
what
man.
I've done.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Alright.
that's all I've done.
I've taken your Mandalorian helmet and my last Mandalorian helmet, and I tried to up the ante with the Iron Man helmet.
Oh, definitely.
It is
That is a thing. Of
100% done as far as colored painting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there are electronic. Halloween didn't happen with it, unfortunate. Next year I'll have to wear it. But
We're all a year behind on this.
so I'm
Gonna get it done for Halloween.
I'm
No,
sticking electronics in it. I'm
Halloween
gonna make it actuate,
2021.
open the face.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make the eyes light up. I
Oh,
bought
yeah.
these. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I bought these eye thingies. They sent me red, and they were supposed to be blue, but you can actually see out of one side. I was just gonna put LEDs around the eyes,
One-way
but then
LED lenses
yeah.
for the helmet. They're
But-
so cool.
and they kind of flex a little bit, so it would fit in the helmet. So I'm waiting. There's a guy at college that goes to our church home group that is an engineer or going to school.
Oh,
His name is Will.
okay.
And he is basically writing all the code for the helmet. I was going to try to do something, and then we found out, oh, you can write code? Hey, bud. What do you think about this? And he's like, yeah, he's into it.
buddy.
He's super into nerdy stuff, too. So
Cool.
it's awesome. So my feeling is I'm going to trade him a printer for his help.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, because you only have.
I have a few
Yeah,
around
counting
me.
around the room,
20?
there are no joke about 10 3D printers in this room right now.
Yeah.
There's one down here in the box yet. I didn't unbox it. Yeah. Well, there's 8 right now.
There's 8. Okay.
Yeah. But so
Sorry,
yeah,
slight
I'm
exaggeration.
trading him a printer for some help in that. So we're waiting on him to. The code is all finalized-ish. I'd say 95%. So we just have to install it in the helmet, and that's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna have it open up, the eyes light up, and then play some Iron Man music when it opens up. So I bought some speakers in the helmet.
Yes.
And then something cool has happened to me. And you never know where business or where your connection comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe last month I got an email through my Etsy. And it was just, hey, just some random guy. I didn't know who it was. Just, hey, he sent me a picture of, I didn't know what it was. He just said, can you make this? That's how all great things start. Can you make this? And you know what it is. And I'm like, okay, what size is that? What am I making it now? Blah, blah, blah. Too long didn't read of it. Is basically, he works for DreamWorks Animation, who makes all like the big animated movies.
DreamWorks SKG.
Yes, and he's an animator. I think it might be the head animator. But so the animators draw on like a regular piece of paper of like, hey, this is our upcoming storyboard movie. And they have these little, it's almost like a bookmark. Mm-hmm. And they have these 2 squares cut out, this specific one, what he wanted me to make. One was for like a 16:9 widescreen TV, and one was for, I think the ratio was 23:1, something for like an actual movie theater screen.
Yeah.
And you just put that down over your picture and you can see what's in the frame. And it had the DreamWorks logo. Oh. I don't know where he found me, how he found me, why he found me.
Insane.
But I was like, I didn't know what I was quoting either when he's like, can you make this? I just noticed the logo and thought, what is it? But I was a little...
Oh, yes, I can.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What have I done?
And this is really fortunate. I don't know. So you've seen the build for the CNC Onefinity enclosure. Mm-hmm. I royally screwed it up and had to redo it. So I had a ton of extra clear acrylic that is not cheap. It was about a $400 mistake.
Yikes.
$300, I could save a little bit. So it was maybe $250, $300 mistake of acrylic that I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to use with this. It's just going to sit in the material. Mm-hmm. And he ended up choosing, I gave him some wood choices and the acrylic choices. He ended up choosing the acrylic. So I got to use the acrylic that I screwed up on as the product for and so I ended up making some money, thankfully. And now I can say I worked for DreamWorks. I don't know what
Myers
that'll do.
Woodshop can now legitimately list DreamWorks as a
They're going to put me at the end of a movie in the scrolling title.
No, they're not.
No, but that would be amazing.
Oh my gosh,
I was actually buying this. And
don't even.
Thanks for the storyboard thing.
Yeah.
And somebody sells them a pen and they put
dedicated
pen
to Ben.
No,
it's the new up.
But so this just goes to show, I think, and I've seen this over and over with everything I've done and all the connections that I've had, is that you never know who you're talking to. So if you're at the conference we went to, I can think of one thing, like there was a little guy nobody knew. He'd had a tiny Instagram following, and then it turned out he had over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. You do not know who you're talking to. Treat everyone with respect. Mm-hmm. Treat everybody as equal or better than you, and word will get around, and good things come back to you. It's just the way it is, the way I've seen it. So
there you go.
I sent it out. I never heard back if they were like, yeah, these are great, thanks. Or I should be like,
or they got them and they're just like, this is garbage.
Yeah, I hope it's
next guy on Etsy.
No news is good news.
Send him a message.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I did that. That was cool.
I'd have traded. Did you get stock or you just?
No.
I would have been like, yes.
They paid him in stock.
500 shares.
It split last week.
And then I guess the other big thing is the enclosure for the Onefinity. People, I'm working on a video for that. Videos just take so long, and it's just, I've experienced a little bit of burnout these last 2 months. Mm-hmm. Just, I've been posting and posting and posting, and it's always on the back of your mind, like, I need to make something just for the sake of content.
I hate editing, and I told you earlier, my Instagram, my YouTube has been slowly just bumping up one person at a time every few days. Mm-hmm. And I know I should take advantage of this. I've got a ton of video just sitting on my hard drive. I hate firing up that film editor and making videos. Terrible. I just hate it.
Which reminds me of how my life has changed too. I totally forgot about this.
What's that?
I have a video editor now.
Oh yeah.
What?
Is this not crazy?
Yes, he did. Delegation.
I wouldn't say I have a video editor now. My last video I just put up about the miter saw deal was not edited by me. It was edited by somebody else in town, and I'll put a link to his website in the description. He works at Ace, hardware, which I go in all the time and they see. And I just kind of word of mouth. This is the word of mouth. He was looking to start a business on editing. I was hoping to never edit again because I hate it with a passion. And it's one of those hard
Changed
things.
everything when we realized there are people out there who actually want to do this and enjoy it.
But that happens with everything.
I know.
Somebody
No,
is
you're
good.
absolutely
Like
right.
you love to do painting and stuff.
Yes.
I despise it.
I know.
Despise it.
Yeah.
So it's I'm in one of those places where like I'm not very good at editing.
Right.
I'm glad
no,
that
No, you are. You're good at it.
Not-
I think
well,
your YouTube speaks for itself.
but
It's
I think-
just that you are done.
I don't know.
You're
Maybe the
over it.
content.
You
I don't
hate
know.
it.
I think like I look at somebody else's editing. I'm think, holy cow, I could never edit like
Okay,
that.
that's
Andrew.
fair.
You look at me. I mean, we all. I
Wobie.
mean, it's the circle of things. Yes.
It's not Wobie, no,
I love
it's
Wobie.
AG.
Or
AG does it.
Dude,
AG does it.
Andrew's
Is
just like
Andrew is
this-
amazing.
Equal mix of inspiration and why am I even bothering?
Exactly. True.
AG's the reason I quit.
You find somebody who's amazing, you realize you can't do it. You quit.
Like, I can't do this. I
I
quit.
know.
It's all yours, Andrew.
Something for me though, giving somebody else my video to edit and put it out is like that is me. My edit is how I
Right.
would edit. Your edit is how you would edit.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's your content or not. This is how you would edit.
That's giving up control and identity in
Which
a
is
way.
very, very hard for me to
Absolutely.
do across the board in
Yeah.
life. Like
Yeah.
I don't even like somebody else driving the
No,
car.
I get
I'm in
it.
control
You are
when
a
I drive the
complete
car.
neat
you know?
freak and you're obsessive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this was
That's why we
when
love you.
we talked about it probably 2-3 months ago, and I just kind of put it off because I was worried, I guess. Like, but then I also wasn't putting it on. I have like 20 half edited videos or 20 shot videos that I just don't edit because at the end of the workday, I come home, the kids are home, I got an hour to relax. I feel guilty if I'm not doing something out in the shop, but I really am burnt out to where I've gone back in the house and just like, you know what, I'm going to enjoy me time to do what I want.
Yeah.
Which means I'm not putting out as many videos. It's a weird thing, but I finally just like, okay, look, here's a video I don't really care about. It's very simple. I shot it in succession. There's not a lot of crazy edits going on, and I don't know that you can get it wrong necessarily. Yeah. So I just said, here, do whatever you want to do, and
Practice.
Fantastic kid.
Yeah.
He calls me sir, which is weird because I don't feel I'm old enough for sir.
Well, you are.
It's
old.
great. I mean, yeah, I am old. Not as old as Brian, but yes.
That's true.
Shut up.
But so
I'm surprised you heard that.
Oh my
turn the
god.
hearing aid up. So yeah, I gave it up to him. He came back to me. I watched the first edit. There was like one little thing I would change, which I could get where you wouldn't see it because you don't know he also is not a woodworker, so he doesn't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like here's some
That's
weird.
yeah.
It's weird.
And not only that, like when you shoot stuff like that, you have an overall
Yeah.
picture of what you want the end result to look like, and so yeah, that would be crazy.
It's weird, but it
Like-
came out. I think it came out really good. I don't know. You may not have watched it.
I haven't watched
It's
it.
kind of a
yet, no.
boring video if you're not interested in that specific tool,
Mm.
like which is kind of why I did it. It is a tool I purchased. The Incra. If you're listening to this and you're interested,
Oh, the
Incra
miter. Yeah,
miter
that-
sled.
That's one I have.
Yeah, you have it. Yeah. Well, I bought it. I left it unboxed for like a month because I was like, I gotta make a video of this. I'm trying to make videos of anything that comes in the shop because
It
people
is-
are interested.
FYI, it's amazing to have, super accurate, but if you have a saw stop,
Yes.
don't bypass it because or make sure your
Why
clearance.
not?
Mine, like I was using it, and the brake and the brake like system went on it, which is what it's for,
Right.
right? It's a safety mechanism, but you're also using a miter sled, so your hands are nowhere near this anyways. So that's something else to keep in
Hopefully.
mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully. And so, anyways, I was pushing it, and I was using the Incra miter saw, and like I was doing a video, so in the video you could see my hands were nowhere near the blade, and I was like, "What happened? What happened?" There was no nicks on the metal, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, you send the brake back, and saw stop will let you know, like, okay, what happened or whatever. They said it was like just I guess the metal like barely touched the blade, and it was enough to send the charge and enough to send the brake, and it
Well, the good thing is that saw works.
yeah.
Right now, I don't know if mine works. I just believe it will, but I
Just
don't
put
know.
your thumb in it.
Mine does not. I have a Delta.
He could just go ahead and chop
Yeah,
everything.
chop
Good.
my fingers right
That's right.
off.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That's
So
all right.
his edit was great. I gave it back to him. He fixed it the way, the little edit piece, and was great. And then he's like, "All right, let me do a few more." He did ask me how much should he charge. I mean,
He asked you.
I
That is a great question.
so here's my thought on this. I think we've kind of gone over this before, but it's something that you learn with time is how much is your time worth. This was my answer back to him. And of course, he was checking me out at the store, and he said, "Well, I don't know. I'm thinking checking
The register.
checking me out at the
He
register."
was at the register.
He said, "I don't know. I think maybe $5 a video." And I'm looking at him like,
Yeah.
Did you poker
Absolutely.
face that?
so I'm
Did you-
50-50 here, right?
Okay.
I mean, if I'm a terrible person, I'm like,
If
"Yep,
you're a
$5
terrible
a video.
person,
Here
you
you
are
go."
absolutely, you're
Right?
on.
Of course, he did this one for free.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
To see if he earns that next
Just to see.
$5.
but the other half, the better half of me, and the better half of me talking to everybody out there is, if you're in this boat, is value your time at what you're actually valued at. How much, like the simple answer for me right there on the spot was, okay, you're working right now. How much do you get here? And he
There you
told me
go.
an answer, and I said, well, that's at least how much your time is worth,
Okay.
because that's what you're working at,
You
right?
let your good side win out in this situation.
I kind of laughed. I said, "Well, I want to tell you, I want to tell you
Yeah.
$5 is but that's not That's not right." Again, this goes back to what I said earlier, where karma comes around,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
and treat people right, they'll treat you right.
I'm kidding.
Generally.
You done good. Good for you.
But so yeah, that's still my answer. Like right now, for me, if you ask me to do any lasering or CNCing, my answer is $60 an hour.
There you
Is
go.
that expensive? Yes.
Yes.
But my time is worth $60 an hour.
Yeah.
And if I don't make it, I'm happy. If I'm making
If I
$10
don't
an
make
hour,
that, I'll
it's
go
not
off and
worth
make my
time.
own Batman stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
And I get that you're trying to build a business and get stuff out there, but as soon as you undervalue yourself in the beginning, it's hard to make up that
Yeah.
Amen.
difference. Or you're just working to work. Working to just work.
Yep.
Not working for building
Yeah.
anything up.
Nope.
Anyways, that's my little deal. That's what I told him. So he's going to do a few more videos. I think I'm going to continue on with the 3D printer ones because they're pretty much all the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different printers. And he'll do a few more for me, and then we'll start in the... He works for me, or
Yeah.
I'm one of his clients.
Or yeah, subcontract
yeah.
negotiations thing.
Because I think the big videos I'll still do,
Mm-hmm.
like the CNC enclosure. That's one I really do care about. I mean I care about them all, but that's one that like,
Sure.
I did that. That's my
Yeah.
big showpiece.
Yeah.
So I'll do that on a video. But
Definitely.
yeah. So I do enjoy this time that we haven't recorded. I haven't put out much video because like the whole Iron Man helmet was pure joy. I showed it on Instagram and some stories.
Yeah.
I did not film it. I didn't like filming is just a pain in the butt.
Right.
I just did it for fun,
Right.
Yeah.
and I've really enjoyed that. I haven't done that in
Good.
a while.
That's how you should do it, man.
Good.
So every once in a while, take a step back
Yeah.
if you're a business and do something to remind you why you started that business
Yeah.
and enjoyed it. And
You
that
got to do a
was
project
yeah.
for you and
Yeah.
be creative. That my problem is I go totally the other way with it.
100% creative.
Yeah, everything I do is
Uh-huh.
for fun and creative.
Yeah.
Not
Although
everything, but
He
most
did
of it.
sell the other Batman sign on Etsy.
Oh yes,
It was an accident. When
it was totally
Somebody
a shot
accidentally
in the
clicked the
dark.
button.
Yeah, accidentally sent me the
He's like,
money.
"No
Sent me
refunds."
their address. I was like, this store does not accept refunds or exchanges.
Exactly.
That's what you do,
Yep.
man.
hmm
Awesome.
That's it, man. That's it for me. That's it for Brian.
Well,
Coty.
so
This is it.
yeah.
Tell us the big news that has happened in this
So-
last 2 months.
most have noticed like Organic Woodwork is no longer where it was.
It is gone.
it
The
is
building
gone.
does not have a sign.
The building does not have a sign. The sign is actually in my garage. No, I'm not doing anything in my garage. We moved things to my wife's parents. They have like a big barn place that we could put all the tools, and we're just getting it set up. And eventually, we want to do where it's just, I don't know, back to the joy thing, right? So setting up Organic, it was just, we had a goal that we had set. We were gonna hire, I keep saying kids aging out, but really the young adults who age out of the foster care system, right? That was the goal. gave ourselves a year. I think because of pride on my behalf, we went over a year. One, because in February we were looking at, okay, let's hire some people. Like we had I had another vet come on who was going to help. We had Cole who was working. And then so it was like, okay, everything was running in place. We had done quite a bit after the show, Small Business Revolution, that featured us, appeared. And when it premiered, we had a lot of orders coming in. Commercial stuff was definitely what our moneymaker was. And so that was like, we had some stuff with the IHOPs across the state. Kind of not a big deal, but it was enough to like, that was going to like be enough to, okay, we can hire someone, like a kid. Like we can hire
That's a big
someone aging out of the foster care system, pay them, but like I'm also not relying on them for productivity just yet, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's a teaching, it gave us like a teaching buffer, a
razor efficiency was not required.
Yeah,
in
not
that
right off the bat.
situation.
And so like,
Okay.
and that's what we were looking at, because that was our goal. And then March happened, man, and the world fell apart.
Hate that saying so much.
Like,
But
it's just
this is
the
like
fact.
the real
So,
truth for you, which is the first.
You know, when we had the commercial products that were our big ticket items, and then we had, guess who were closing down? Every business. And so, although we were able to still safely like be and continue to do and create, because we don't have a lot of people coming in and out of our store. Anyways, like everything was done pretty much online through the website. It was all custom anyways, so this wasn't like we had a storefront for people to shop. And so we were still able to do stuff, but then when these other businesses that weren't functioning, like guess what? They don't have money to spend to do the things that they had set out to do. So they're having to cut budgets because they have people on furlough and they don't know when things are going to be back to normal.
Nobody does.
And so, anyways, we just took a big hit. And then also in that same time, it's like, I can't hire anyone. And so, because it's like, we like tell them like, okay, yeah, we'll hire you, but we don't know when we're going to have to let you go. A kid who's grown up in the
Sure,
foster...
come on in. We may kick you out tomorrow.
And a kid that's grown
straight
up
up.
in the foster care system does not need that.
Right.
That is all that's doing is just affirming them in the world that they've already lived in. That, I'm expendable. I can, I have no value. Again, no purpose. And it's just, we couldn't do that. So we waited around, because it was May or April is when our original goal was. And so May, and really I was just kind of waiting like, okay, man, this has got to let up at some point, And then when it was like June, and we're like, all right, this is it. Like we had hit, I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but like I never even drew a salary from there. Like I was paying employees and I was making sure the business had funds. Because if all I'm doing is working to pay myself, I'm not creating a business, I'm creating a job. And so once like all that money that we had kind of coming in started just paying overhead, then there was no reason to even continue to do it. And like orders were so far and few in between, and it was just like, all right, we, not only are we now just covering overhead and just surviving, but our goals not being met. Like if I want to be poor, there's much easier ways to be poor.
All right, so here's my question. You always hear like businesses don't get profitable till the second year. Owners don't take any money until the second year. You lasted one. What if you would have stuck it out and tried to get to the second year?
We were over the second year. We didn't.
You were over the second year? You were over the first year.
We were over the first year.
You
Oh,
weren't
you
into
mean
the
go
second
through
year.
another?
Yeah, I mean,
go
there's-
through a year too.
I guess the passion. No, I don't know. I don't know where your finances were. But I mean, you're saying, okay, we could pay the overhead. I didn't draw a salary. I get that. You also built a brand, and at some point, theoretically, it should. You get all your tools. You get your, first year stuff in, and then your profit should start rising or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think it was more of a there's no time to wait it out, or if we waited it out, just was it straight COVID? You know what I mean? Like I know that some people start a business and they wait 2 years, 3 years, and then it starts. Okay, we stuck it out. This was my passion.
Yeah. Well, so
did that change
well
the
no.
passion for it, or like where's the line in the sand for you to be like, okay, we're done. I'm gonna pursue something else. Did you even know what you were gonna pursue?
When I was stressing about paying the overhead and not being able to hire the reason we started Arganic to begin with, that's when I was like, yeah, that's the line in the sand. Like, there's no reason for me to stress about doing a good thing when I can't even do that good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no point. And my family deserves better. Mentally, I deserved better. And it just, like, there's no reason to do that. So, and yeah, so again, we did have a brand. We still do. We still have Arganic. We just, we've moved everything, transitioned into a new space. We're slowly getting it put together. But it's just, it's free overhead. So, but also so in this comes, like, with stress comes prayer, right? Because that's when you devote yourself more to being open to and receptive of, like, just that hearing from God, right? And so, and through that stress, it's like praying, like, all right, God, what our plan was, what our goal was, and like, like, do you want this? And it was almost like how can you not want this? It was like me trying to, like, pitch him on the fact of, like, how do you not want this? Like, this is a good thing.
Shark
like, how do
Tank
you
with
not
God.
want? Yeah, Shark. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely. It was Shark Tank with God, and so it was just like, how do you not want this? And then it just kind of dawned on me, like, he does want it, but maybe, like, the way I'm going about it is a little wrong. So we started looking at different things, and it was like, okay, so Arganic is a brand. We do eventually want to build this back up to set out to the goal that we set on, which is not to make money, but hire kids, give them some kind of soft skills or purpose or whatever. And so in that, it was like, well, why can't Arganic just be a nonprofit? But I don't want to be a nonprofit to where we are always, like, pitching, like, raising money or whatever, because again, where does that money go? It pays overhead. You got to pay some overhead. So we're not there yet, and I didn't want to do that. And so, I don't know what the answer to that is. I just know eventually in my mind and in my heart, eventually that's what I would like for it to go to. Kind of have a more of a space where, kids can be creative. I say kids. I don't know why I keep saying kids. Young adults can be creative, or come and even, I don't know, maybe open it up as some safety toll creation center for kids, which is a huge insurance liability. So I don't know what that's going to be, but hire people, hire kids that aged out of the foster care system to help, with the safety of the tools. I don't know. Again, I have no answers. Just what a vision, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it's up to me to have the answers. I think maybe I should just have the vision and just share it. And let somebody else who has the logistics worked out do it.
Okay.
And know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and
That's it. Like
somebody
you said,
comes
like, you
across-
don't like to edit.
find somebody who does.
I don't like to plan.
Find somebody who will.
I want to dream. Someone else plan. You know what I mean?
What's it like to? I was gonna say, like, end your dream, but change would be a better word, I guess. What's it like to, like, taking that sign down? What's the emotions, the feelings going through you on that day?
So
Or
when
that
I
week,
when I-
or when
man,
the decision.
it's funny that when you
the
said
other
take the
side.
sign down, because that was like the last thing I did, and that was
I thought so. I mean, I drive by it almost every day, and I've just been noticing. I haven't seen you for a while either because of
Yeah.
all this change, and I just noticed, and I saw it down, and just for me driving by,
Yeah.
Because I've been with you before this process, through the
Yeah.
process, and through the end of it. It was
Yeah.
something here. It
So-
like it hit me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
That's,
And
yeah.
that and it also was like a gathering place as well,
Yeah.
which is wonderful. And as an adult, that's harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
Just friends gathering at a certain spot, and you associate that spot with those friends. So like like almost the building is almost as equal to a friend itself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, don't-
I was a bit emotional when
Now
I
you're gonna make me
saw
cry.
that. No,
Yeah.
yes, don't cry. I didn't
Ben,
mean
shut
that. I
up.
just-
No, but I do understand what you're saying, and so like there was a lot of like I wanted it to succeed so badly.
And I don't
really
mean that
did.
it's not succeeding
no.
either.
And I've had to have this talk
Morphing or
too.
changing
Because I'll be honest, like
and being
just-
okay with that.
Yeah, like when I was just like, okay, we're not meeting goals. I'm stressing. I was just like, I don't know. I went through this like it's a failure. I'm a failure kind of like resolve, and then I was like, but then through this again, when those thoughts hit, right, that's when you're most vulnerable to be able to be receptive and listen, and so it was just like, it's not that you failed. First of all, you did something that most people don't do, right? So it's just like, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, right? He said, it was like there's a ridiculous amount of times that he tried and failed, right? And someone asked him about it, and he said, no, I just found ways not to do it, right? And so I think it was kind of that, like, okay, well, man, you went out there, you did this. Like, that's something most people don't do. It took some guts. So, like, basically, you can kind of do whatever you want now, right? The fear factor is over. So it kind of comes to this. Like, you ever been at a lake and you see people jumping off the cliff, right? And they're doing it and they're having a good time. And then, like, it's your time to come, and it's like that first, you haven't done it yet. And like you're super, super nervous, and then you jump, and then you realize, wow, that's a lot of fun. And so then you're climbing back up the cliff and you're jumping again. So it's like that. It's like you take that jump, and it's like, yeah, that was kind of fun. Let's do it again. And so and it just is like once you've done that, the fear factor of it, the unknown, and it's just like, oh, but what if what if I can't pay my bills? What if my house, like all those things, like just do it. And it just comes to that. What would you do if you weren't afraid?
Yeah.
I live a lot by that.
Yes.
And so that's just kind of how when the emotions of it kind of started to dwindle away. Like the day after I took that sign, or the day of I took the sign down, like it hit hard. I was like, this sucks. And then it was almost like, maybe I should just put it back up and just do it. Maybe I don't want to do this. Because even though it was like, it was almost as scary to close it down as it was when I started it up.
Huh.
And it's just because you fall into this pattern of things.
Uh-huh.
And we hate disruption of pattern. And that is why
That's
the
true.
world is burning, because people had patterns and they had habits. And then COVID came and it kicked it, and then just like, they don't know what to do because now those patterns are up, because they were forced to.
Yeah.
It's different because I kind of made a choice, but even then, like taking that sign down, quitting, it was like, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe we just keep it going. Like, I can come up with the overhead. We can figure this out. I'll get another job, and like I'll just pay the overhead and not work here. Like it's just like all these things. So, anyways, but that was our goal. We didn't make the goal. We did it. Took the sign down. It's emotional, and but now I have started my new career, and I kind of love it.
So explain how, I guess, the transition, like, did this show up? I guess tell everybody what you're doing now.
Oh yeah, probably need to do that.
No.
He's growing mushrooms.
Yeah, we're just doing
You
psychedelics.
grow that in poop.
He's
by the
not.
way.
Yeah, we're just doing psychedelics now. No, so yeah, So in June, when we were like, okay, what are we gonna do? I just kind of looked at the housing market. So I don't know. Being a business owner, first of all, you pay attention to a lot of different markets because I always think I'm going to diversify because woodworking was never really going to be a moneymaker, right? So I had looked into like day trading in stocks, did a
good
little
for
bit of
you.
that, and then also looked at the housing market. And so when I saw the 2008 housing market and this housing market kind of going hand in hand. With 2008, we had mortgages that were being given to people that shouldn't have had them, builders building houses and giving people that just shouldn't have had them, right? Now we're in this, okay, people are losing their jobs and getting forbearance, and they're sticking around, and it's just like at some point something's going to happen. And so, I don't know, like investing wise, I just wanted to be kind of on the ground floor of that, right? Like, let's see, someone's at risk and you have investors who are going to look at buying their home to keep them from going into foreclosure and ruining, their credit and everything else. So anyways, that's how I even got started into looking at real estate, was just basically looking into that stuff. But yeah, so then I was like, brought it up to my wife. She's like, oh, sounds great, let's do it. Super cool. And then she brought it up. I was telling her grandfather, who's like 80 years old, super cool dude, always been successful. He has an insurance agency in Jacksonville, and I was telling him my views on this, and he was like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. He's like, we have a real estate company. You should just get your license and you can work for us. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we have a real estate company, but we've just been doing property management, not buying and selling retail.
Yeah.
Or doing retail lately, so get your license and work for us. And we're like, oh, okay, cool, sure. So went, took the classes, took the board, got my license, and now I work for Realty Brokers of Arkansas, out of Little Rock, and I am a real estate agent. So if you know anybody looking to buy or sell a house, tell them to call me.
Anywhere in Arkansas.
So anywhere north of the river is what I tell people. So anywhere from like North Little Rock, so say North Little Rock to Searcy or Judsonia.
Okay.
Actually, so I just sold a house last week that's in Heber. So
Oh. All right.
Is that where that was?
yeah.
And you were the buyer agent.
And I was the buyer agent for that, which is hard. It's hard being a buyer's agent right now. Inventory for homes, it is a definite seller's market. Like, if you're thinking about selling your home, please call me, and you're going to get probably the best price you'll ever get for that home.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just because people don't have a lot to choose from. Like, we still have the same amount of people wanting to buy a house, but not the same amount of houses on the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're like, if you have something and then just like that buyer's looking for it, man, they're on it.
Yeah.
And multiple offer situations, it's ridiculous. And I have about 4 or 5 buyer agencies contracts right now, and nothing is out there for me. And I'm just like, this stinks. Yeah.
I guess, how do you, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this. And then you just start studying and just take a test, and then you pass the test, and then you just say, okay, come to me. And somebody, like, how does somebody go, I don't really know, like, how, you've never sold a house.
Yeah.
Hey, Coty, find me a house. And you're like, all right, I think I know what
Okay,
I'm doing.
can do.
So,
Is that about, that's about how Arganic ran. All right, I'll make this.
basically, that is exactly it.
Oh,
So
gosh.
basically, I just took that same business model and I've applied it to real estate. No,
Same thing as DreamWorks. Hey, can you do that?
Can you
Heck
do
yes,
that?
I can.
Yes, I
Oh my
can,
gosh, what have I
I
done?
don't know what it is or what
I
I'm
have
making
no
it out of,
idea how to
I
do
think
that.
Sure.
I think it comes to, it just comes to like your work ethic and drive and what
Yeah.
you're willing to really study for.
Yeah.
Like, Arganic. I mean, I worked. What was it? I used to joke. I was like, yeah, I'm working 90 hours a week to avoid someone else's 40, and I'm not getting paid for it.
True. But 90
And-
hours of your own is sometimes a lot better than somebody else's 40.
So and real estate's the
Amen.
same way. So
Yeah.
in real estate, I'm an independent contractor. It's not like I have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I'm only as successful as
you make it, I guess.
well.
Or you invest into
wanna
it.
be.
Yeah, as your investment. And so when it comes to real estate, your investment is more of your knowledge into it.
Yeah.
You know.
So what does your day-to-day consist of? Do you, like, obviously, well,
Man,
I don't know if this is obvious, but
I do all
you're
kinds
not a 9-to-5er when you're realty
well
deal. Because, hey, I
so-
want to look at a house, but I work Monday through Friday. We're looking on Saturday
Yeah,
or Sunday.
so weekends were made for real estate.
Okay.
That's a good line to live
Write
by.
that down.
Just because nights and weekends when no one's working is when you're working.
Yeah.
As far as physically working. Like that's when you're showing homes or talking to sellers and discussing listing options and things like that. The rest of the time it is paperwork. It is expanding your knowledge. Because here's another thing. Like if someone comes to you and they have questions, right? If you've never bought a house before.
Yeah.
Or you've never sold a home before, or you don't like what's a title company. You have
Right.
all these stuff. Like so the more
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so the more I read, the more podcasts I listen to, the more YouTube guru guys who say that they're top producers but probably haven't really sold anything ever, but they still have some valuable insight. You just choose from it, and but like you just expanding your. It's the same thing with woodworking.
Yeah.
That's how I taught myself woodworking was books and YouTube and podcast and like. I mean, yeah, that's how I taught myself woodworking.
Yeah.
I didn't have anyone teaching me. So, and I have a great principal broker who, if I have a question, I'll call him and I'll just ask him.
Principal broker. So you're under somebody else's license?
So
Somebody has a master license and you're like one of their
That's a
agents?
good way of putting it. So a broker is the person who basically is the fall. I call him the fall guy.
It all comes back to him.
It all comes back to him, and
If
that's
it goes
it.
south,
Well, that's how it
he
is
gets
for
blamed.
us me as an exterminator. I have a license to do what I'm doing,
Exterminate.
but my license is a sub license of my boss's, who
Yes.
has the master license, and I'm one of his 10 or whatever he can have. That's how it works.
Yeah. And then if you screw up, who's in trouble? Him.
I'd lose mine, but then he would probably lose his. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Same with the broker. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So, and but again, it comes to, but you got to be able to do the work. A lot of real estate agents will sit back and just allow their sphere of influence or like the people in their circle to come to them. I can't wait.
You
Right?
attack. Attack
So,
like a tiger.
yeah. So like
Advance.
if you're a for sale by owner, I've probably called you because like if I see a sign and it's I'll knock on the door. And
Yeah.
I'll leave a door hanger and a card. If you don't answer, if you answer, I'm 6 feet back. So, because it's a weird time to like be in this market because there's a lot of safety issues that people,
Yeah.
want to follow, and so, you got to take that into consideration. But also like, if it's during the day when obviously people are at home, I'm writing down the number that's on that for sale by owner sign
Right.
in their front yard, and I'm gonna call them at 5 o'clock, and I'm gonna tell them all the benefits of having a real estate agent versus for sale by owner.
So did you make more money in a year doing organic versus your one house sold?
Yeah. So I've doubled that yearly income.
So you're
Yeah.
in one shot. Well, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good for the year.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, you're good
whatever
for two.
double of zero is. No. So, but yeah, and I mean, and it's tough to get going. Like,
Yeah.
it's it's still because again, you have to do the work.
Uh-huh.
It's not like you just clock in and draw a check.
Right.
And
So do you brand yourself? Like organic, you gave yourself a brand,
Mhm.
a logo, a brand, a website, all those things, a Google address. Like, do you have to do that?
So-
do you do that? Are you doing that?
So
or
for me,
are you just
haven't
making
quite-
another brand? Like you make another circle of a brand.
He is the brand.
I am.
Well, he's the brand, but is it
So,
organic
You
really?
seen those gorgeous headshots
No,
on
that sounds
Facebook
fine,
when
too.
he's putting out his new
So-
realtor gig? It's
Let me tell you, he
He's
is 100% correct.
smoking.
What?
Your headshot,
Yeah.
the whole deal
That
with
was-
you in the suit and everything.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
not in the market. I want to buy a
Amazing.
house.
Amazing guess.
So you're
That was
doing it
Ashel,
right.
That was Ashel Parsons.
Okay.
Whoever she is, she's doing it right.
She did an amazing job.
Maybe
with
we
those
can have her on the
headshots.
podcast one day.
Yeah, if you need somebody to edit photos and make you look good.
She did a
She's
good
the
job.
one.
He looked good.
But that's
And,
why I said you're selling yourself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that's basically in anything you do.
That's true, but I mean, now it's, it was
Yeah, so but
organic woodwork.
Well, he has
now
no
it's,
physical good.
Right, now it's Coty Skinner
He's
with
giving somebody else's house to you.
whatever came after Coty Skinner. I'm sorry, I was overwhelmed with the picture. I just looked at the picture. I didn't actually read anything else.
There was a hyphen and some words.
Right, there was a hyphen. There were other things in bold letters, but I was like,
But
I
those
want
were
to buy a
theirs.
house from him.
There was those piercing blues.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't quite figured that out. This has been our first full month in.
You say our.
So
This has
I
been
always,
our.
I always
You
say
always
He talked
say
this
our.
over with
So-
his wife.
Yeah,
I'm almost
exactly
certain.
why. I will never
Oh,
say
our.
anything is me or I, because it's never me or I. She is absolute. I mean, think about it. I said, "What about real estate?" She said, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea." What? You crazy woman! Go tell me to get a job. Like, you know what I mean? It's
That's
just
what my wife would have
yeah,
done.
like
Shut up and
nope.
work for Wendy's.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
a guaranteed paycheck.
When I go pick up a drink from Sonic, you better be bringing it to me.
Yep.
But no, it was a.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying she wants
No,
something
no,
that's
but I
for
mean-
real, concrete.
But yeah, so it
And I
should-
get that, but
But it was just so, I don't know, without that support I wouldn't have done Arganic, and I definitely probably wouldn't have done this. It's just been, so when I say our, it is because it is 100% never is me being just me. And so like, yeah, but that's, I don't know, just super incredibly blessed with her. And so that is also like a big portion of my success. Like, I'm able to, have the confidence to go, all right, let's do this, go with it, and try to call people, get listings, and get buyers, and get sellers. You know what I mean? It's just, it's been great.
so what does organic woodwork do now? Do you do anything at
I
all
have
woodwork
been-
at all?
So yeah, I was there.
What happened with all your tools?
So we moved it all
Like,
to
what
Megan's
all is going on with
parents. We call it the barn.
Went to the barn.
It's where they park their coach. That probably costs more than my house.
Yeah.
But in the back, they have some space that I could put some tools. And so I was there Sunday. So what's the day? Monday?
Monday. Today's Monday.
I don't know.
You were there yesterday.
Yes, I was there yesterday.
Huh?
And so moving tools and stuff around, trying to get things situated. Just one, it's been a lot of just setup, because I mean,
Oh, setting up a shop is one of life's great joys.
Yeah.
I agree. If I could have a job, no, I'm totally opposite. If I
No,
can make a
you're
job
not.
where
You
like you're like,
cannot
okay, lay
enjoy
out
that.
my shop,
Oh my gosh, Ben, shut up.
I would totally do. I'd fly from hither to yon.
From
Yeah.
hither to yon,
Yes.
organizing all the
Organize
shops
and set up
to
your shop.
Efficiency, the living daylights out.
I'd love it.
And
It's
then
great.
I would follow you and mess them all
Yes, true.
so it's great
You get
to
all projects
organize
98%.
as long,
98.4.
as long as your tools don't weigh a ton.
Yeah, that's true. This is also
So
true.
like,
Oh,
you
wait,
know,
how big a planer have you got? I forgot.
the 20-inch.
Do you still have all your tools?
Yeah. So like when I say I'm setting up the shop, I probably moved.
We
one
went out of
thing.
business. I am not letting go of the tools.
No, absolutely. Well, and I didn't feel right.
No, I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
You
So
were
it's
like,
like-
hey guys, come get all this wood. Don't touch the tools. No.
Yeah, like it was like, I don't know. It just felt kind of wrong
I understand
to
that.
me.
I
Like,
100% understand that.
like, oh, I won this fabulous thing, and they gave me free tools. And let me hawk them. You know what I mean? It's like that didn't feel right.
Nah, don't do that.
So no, so we're just setting it up, trying to get things situated, because I still have people who expect, they want stuff, and
So you're
little
still doing
projects.
commission stuff? If people want.
Not right now.
They're
We're
just like, no.
closed. Well,
Nothing.
we've closed it, so like our thing is we're closed on commissions. We're not taking any more orders for a while until we're set up and I'm in a place where I'm able to pace out and have days to where, all right, today I'm gonna go to the shop make this stuff. But I don't think organic is going to be anything like it was, where it was like a demand, right? So
Yeah.
like if someone says, "Hey, Ben, I want you to make this thing," do you give them a timeline,
Uh,
or do you just tell them,
most of the time right now, I don't do any commission stuff.
"Yeah,
It's very rare. But if I do commission stuff, for me, things tend to take 4 months.
yeah,
Generally, and you're lucky if you get them faster, because it is purely fun for me, and I try to make it stay that way. So I try to make it realistic up front, and maybe this isn't even for just project like a sign or whatever for local people, but like even like a tool company saying, "Hey, would love you to make a video for us if we can give you this tool." And I say, "Okay, I would love that tool. I would love to make a video for you." Realistically, 4 months is probably how long it's going to take for me to make a video, because I have to use the thing, make sure I like the thing, know how to use it, and show it on a video, generally, if that's the kind of video we're doing. And then, so yes, I try to, unless it's like, oh, I can make that in a day. Like
Yeah.
those thingies for DreamWorks. CNC and laser work is a little different because they want to see what you can make, so I have to design it kind of first to show them like a digital part of it, and they're like, okay, yes, that's what we want, very good. So at that point, all the work was almost done, because
Yeah.
the designing is the hard part, and it was a rather easy design. But so that one went quick. I was like, okay, I can do this. This is gonna, I mean, as fast as the laser can go.
yeah,
But yeah, sorry. Yes, generally yes. I try to give them a long. I don't want to be in the business of commission work. That's not my goal out here. So if it is something that interests me, then I may take 1 out of 100 things that people will say, "Can you make this?" Before I was just chucking it all to you because I don't want to make anything.
yeah,
But now that I can't do that, it's maybe 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100 that it get us. And if I do that, I make it very, very apparent. I try to make it very apparent that it's going to take, like, you're going to Myers, it's going to take you 4 months to get the thing you wanted.
yeah.
Are you okay with that? If I get it done quicker, hooray. If I get it done in 4 months,
There
well,
you
that's
go.
what I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's why my Etsy shop is like 6 to 8 weeks for any products. Like, can I get it done quicker than that? Probably.
Yeah.
Do I want to be thinking about it for the
Stressing
next
about
2
it,
weeks
sleeping
and
over-
having
losing
to
sleep
get
over
it out
it?
the door by then? No.
right.
No, I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
If it was my job, I didn't have any outside force coming into me,
Sure.
and I did this 9 to 5,
Sure.
and then I picked up my kids and I can turn this off, that would be totally different.
Yeah.
But this is a side fun. I make a little money, but I still have fun. I enjoy doing it. That makes the biggest difference to me.
Yeah.
I don't rely on any of this at all out here, so I don't want it to be miserable. And a timeline, just a timeline adds misery.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
I may
it
like
does.
doing your project, but you throw a timeline in there, I'm like, this sucks now because I'm under the gun.
Yeah. You got to make sure you hit those like hard checkpoints too. Like,
Yeah.
You know where you're at.
I don't like that. I'd rather somebody. I mean, I guess this is maybe just all artists, and I don't consider myself an artist, but we make things, so we're artists. But
You are.
I find that it's like, I love what you do. I would like you to make this specific-ish thing for me. Do it how you do it, and have fun with it. And I know if that's the only stipulations, I'm going to get something freaking awesome. But I'm like, I want you to do this, and I want this dimension and exactly this way, and I need it at this timeline. You're going to freaking hate doing it. And it's not going to be something as great as I just give you free reign. I feel like that's the case usually.
I feel like, yeah, and we talked about that.
Look at the sign on my wall with the girl that cut my shop thing. All I did was say, I love what you do.
Make my
Your
shop.
signs are super cool. I would love a little thing in my shop. And she's like, send me some pictures. I said, cool. Whatever you do. She asked me for more specifics. So I said, no, just do
Did you
you.
really?
I said, do you.
No,
Here, I'd love my
leave me
shop.
alone.
And look at what she made.
That's
it's
amazing.
it's beyond my wildest dreams. And then she added the open door with me sanding inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
anchored wood design.
yes.
Right? Anchored.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's where, I mean, yes, do I want something now? We live in the here and now. Amazon same day delivery
Yeah.
Sure.
in better cities than ours. But, you know,
So, and that's another thing is like when you're doing custom pieces, we live in that I want it same day, and then some people just have unrealistic expectations of what it is that they want.
yeah.
So,
And the price.
oh man,
For sure.
Yeah, I don't want to get on that.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
So you're not making anything at all.
not at the moment, no.
Not even for fun. You just haven't had the time. You're just 100%. I mean, your first month into
Yeah.
a new business. So
Yep.
I saw, did you take the sign off the back of your car?
I did. That also hurt a little bit.
That hurt me when I saw it. I think I saw it yesterday. You pulling into your neighborhood, and I
Yeah.
thought I saw you as I was driving, and I was like, oh, ooh, it's gone.
Yeah.
I helped make that.
I know.
I didn't make the sign on your thing, but I helped make the one on your truck. And I'm like, well, for one, I can tell that's your truck because it's a pretty common truck.
Yeah.
That one hurt me a little bit.
Yeah. It stunk a little bit, but you know, here's the thing. It's just, I don't know. Things happen. There's reasons behind it that, I don't know. I'm also finding myself in this weird of just trust. Like, trust in God is like that thing that you say to people, but then when it's your turn,
It's
you're
a lot
like,
harder.
"Eh,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's, all right, I'll say it. Does that count?
Right.
But, you're still trying to like do,
Right.
and it's hard. Like I don't know, but I'm finding ways of being receptive, being just in that trusting space of like, well, there's really nothing more I can do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like anything good that comes from this point is all because God, you got this. Like I just like I have nothing that I can physically make. And it's just weird to have that. Like I'm so used to doing things with my hands and making things with my hands, especially when it came to like profit, right? So like provision. Like in order to get provision, I had to make it with my hands, no matter what it was.
Right.
But like now I'm in this space like I have to just trust that the things that I'm putting out there. And I don't know how to do content when it comes to like real estate stuff. I have no idea what to put out there because like again,
Here's a house.
It's
Here's
like,
a house.
Here's a house.
Here's
And
another
another
house.
house. Yeah. Or like I don't know, like and it's just really weird. Like what do people want to know about real estate? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is it you want to know? Because if I'm just throwing out, I don't know, just here's a house for sale. Okay, but like real estate stuff, like is there something you want to know about it? Like let me know. Let me just try to see if I can't figure this out.
Well, if you're listening and you have an answer to Cody's question, please send it to him directly.
Yeah, you can go to Instagram at Selling Arkansas.
Do you still have Organic Woodwork? If they're
Yeah, I still have that
that's
too.
if they're
Yes.
listening, they probably hear you that. So you still have that account, and you can still
Yep.
get messages and everything.
Yep.
You can send it to the Build Guild podcast, Instagram or Facebook, or get it to one of us somehow, and we'll get it to you. I think we record and we put our stuff out on Anchor.fm. There's a way for you guys to record a voice question and send it to us through that app.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
we could play it through this and answer it, which would be really cool. But
I
that
agree.
is totally dependent on you guys.
Everybody do that.
So if you can do that, and even if it's not a question about real estate, just anything
No.
for any of us, please. I'll try to figure out a little bit more and post it on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff. But please do that. That would make it more fun too.
Yeah,
So
please do.
cool. All right. Well, let's end it there.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's end on a potential success rather
Yep.
than a failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think your sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Things are still good for organic woodwork.
Yeah.
You're just down a different fork in the road. Or there may be several. And
Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
And on a very exciting,
Well, this is
exciting note.
I'm so tired right now.
I've been Brian. I'm surprised you were awake.
Yeah.
I know.
It is an hour. later in our brains
I
than
know,
it is
that's true.
via the clock.
That's true.
Man.
So we just changed yesterday.
It was a horrible day to do a podcast.
I know.
I'm sorry. It
We
was
needed
my
to.
idea.
So for some
Why
reason,
was this my idea?
also, well, for some reason, I shared the analytics with you. I don't know what has happened,
right,
but
okay.
our
Let's not end it yet
our-
because the analytics on this podcast went bonkers.
went
and-
crazy. The last
Yeah.
month, we have grown 10 times in listens. I don't have a clue why.
Weird. Whoever did that, thanks.
We tried to Google it. We couldn't figure it out. So if you...
Even Ben can't figure it out.
Yeah, even I can't figure it out, which is crazy.
It's like the NSA is behind
So
us. or
if you
something.
found us somehow
Yeah,
recently,
thank
please
you.
let us also know how you found us and why.
Yeah.
And keep listening.
They're probably wondering why too.
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point, they're listening to this episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had the same question, man.
I do want to give a quick shout out, and if you're watching on YouTube, you could see my shirt, Run CNC.
It's pretty fun.
Morgan from our last podcast randomly sent this to me because he
Oh,
found
yeah?
it on Amazon and thought I would love it. This is actually an account for somebody on Instagram who I follow who is amazing at CNCs too. So
I agree.
ironic in a bunch of levels. So thank you, Morgan. It's fantastic.
Thanks, Morgan Hop.
And hilarious. So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully we'll see you sooner rather than later.
Yeah, let's try to do this
Yeah.
again.
Yes, we'll make this a little bit more.
Don't die till then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone do
We'll
your
try.
best.
Cool.
Keep your fingers attached. Don't die.
Don't die.
And maybe next time I can show the actual Iron Man helmet moving
Absolutely.
by that point.
Yes.
So
next podcast episode will be next Halloween.
Exactly.
it's true.
And I'll bring the Mando suit also.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Full
So that
Mando
is
suit,
one you
full
will
Iron
not want to
Man.
miss.
Coty,
on you.
what are you going to do?
He's gonna wear his 3-piece suit that
Okay,
he wore
right. How
for
could
his
I
headshot.
forget?
Oh,
Okay.
three-piece, yeah.
Best
Yes.
looking realtor in Arkansas.
And that's what our next podcast, this podcast logo should be, is just his headshot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Let's do it.
We'll get 20
So,
times more listeners.
Our
because of that
analytics were good.
That's what happened.
And now,
That's true.
all right, let's
right.
end this right. Let's
Okay.
just get out of here.
Good night,
Thanks,
everybody.
thanks all for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll catch
Ciao.
you later.
Bye.
Bye.